So this is where you'll have a helm, and then you'll also be able to steer out here.
What's she made of?
Plywood and epoxy. So we're using West system epoxy and marine grade plywood.
It was a visit to this very unconventional boat builder that helped us decide our next move.
So my tip for traveling in Japan is to arrive at your train station at least a half hour early so you can figure out how to get your tickets.
Toyama, Japan. Took the bullet train here because we had a special invite.
Hello!
Hey, what's going on? Hi, Kev. Is it Kev or Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin.
You've had a good deal of press, it looks like.
Yeah.
You've been on Japanese television and...
Everyone in this area knows. You're on the newspaper. Oh yeah, how about that? Don't know what it says, but yeah. This used to be a college for school. Teach sailing and things to do with boats.
So why is Kevin a celebrity, and why is his project such a big deal in Japan? Recreational boat building just isn't much of a thing in Japan. He's probably the only guy in the entire country building a catamaran. But it's the why and the how that's equally noteworthy.
So, Kevin, what inspired you to take on a project like this?
I sort of run this, I don't know if you come across it in Australia, we have like men's sheds, where men just come, not man sheds, men's sheds.
Men's sheds.
Yeah, so men get together and they build stuff, and just
Gosh.
It's more of a community sort of thing. One of the things I wanted to do here was that there is a big problem with guys that when they retire, they lose their identity. Like everything, work here is king. Work becomes before everything, and their identity is tied up with what they do. When they retire, divorce and suicide is a big problem. For a lot of people, a lot of men. A lot of men, they don't have hobbies, they don't have interests, because their whole life is just work, and that's it. And so what part of it was having something so big was to create interest for men to be able to come here and just get involved in either helping build the boat, or even just coming and having a look, having a chat, sitting down, have a cup of coffee.
Kevin's approach to this project really struck a chord with us. He's not really even a sailor yet, but it's about the project and the passion for the project and sharing it with others. And this relentless search for our next boat has taken us away from that. Don't get me wrong, it's been incredible sailing aboard these performance catamarans and learning directly from some very accomplished sailors. But somewhere along the way, it became a question of how big a check we wanted to write. And that's just not what motivates us. My father, who passed away many years ago, was a woodworker. His boats were, well, generally a little smaller, but he gave them just as much care. Even if he could buy something at the store, oftentimes he would build it instead, simply for the pleasure of making something with his own two hands. So while we had never considered building our own boat, I found myself really inspired.
What's she made of?
Plywood and epoxy. So we're using West system epoxy and marine grade plywood.
Is that cold molding, or is it something different?
The chine, the radius chine, is all moulded. It starts off with sheets of plywood, and I built a mould, apply epoxy to the sheets to glue them together, strap them down over the mould, and then once the epoxy's dried, they hold their shape.
So tell us about the design and the designer.
Design is Dudley Dix. I like the design. I like, just aesthetically looking.
What does she weigh when she's all finished?
Heavy, I think it'll be about 12 tonne. I think with empty tanks, just the boat itself will be about 9.5 tonne. Dudley, part of his philosophy is designing boats for amateurs to build. And fortunately, I've got a bit of trade experience, pretty good grasp on having to work out solutions to problems. The beauty of being able to buy it as a kit really was the thing that made it stand out. And being plywood and not fiberglass, I can't stand fiberglass.
So what are some of the benefits of building with plywood?
Plywood is light compared to fiberglass. It's tough, it's more flexible. It can take a good hit and it flex and then bounce back out, whereas fiberglass would tend to crack.
When you say kit, that means everything is shipped to you?
Yeah, so all of the plywood was pre-cut in Melbourne, 4 large pallets of plywood.
You've turned it into this.
Yeah.
Amazing.
This looks like carbon fiber.
Carbon fibre over the chain plates. There's a couple of layers of fiberglass, and on the major bulkhead, so the transom and the main bulkhead where the mast sits, that's all glass. Some other glass tabbing on some of the other bulkheads as well.
So that's kind of interesting. So you've got a lot of experience with fiberglass in other industrial applications.
Yeah.
And yet you decided you'd rather build with wood.
Yeah, because I'd done the fiberglass. I didn't want. Oh, it's nasty.
Does it have crash bulkheads?
Yes. The first bulkhead is about here. It's sealed compartment up to about here.
Your dad would love this, eh?
My dad would be blown away.
Yeah.
How many hours do you estimate you'll have into this by the time you're done?
I was basing it on doing about 2,000 hours a year, and I was thinking 3 years. But now we're coming up to 3 years, in a month's time, and it's not finished yet.
So do you find that you think about this project
all the time?
Morning, noon, night?
Yeah.
As you go to bed, as you wake up?
Been constantly thinking about, boat building, boat systems, learning, plumbing, electrical, all of those sorts of things. You just have to learn. I spend most of my waking moments and sleeping moments as well. Some of them, just over ideas and ideas. So
This is tough work. Yeah. This isn't just a small weekend project.
No. Well, I have to manage the work because I'm not young anymore. I've got this little dilemma. This thing here. So I have to build a bridge over this.
Oh my God.
And get the boat out over to this side before I can get the crane to lift it into the water.
You have to build a bridge?
I have to build a bridge.
How wide is it?
7 metres wide.
And how wide's your boat?
7.5 metres.
No.
Or 7.7 metres wide. Yeah.
So you got to come all the way through.
Come all the way through and go all the way over.
Well, you could just get a jackhammer out. So you have to build a trailer.
To go over the bridge, which I've got to build.
Yeah. but then you're not done because you still have a component to add.
Yeah, they're going to jack it up. So the trailer I've got to make so I can jack it, so I can extend the legs and jack it up that extra 500 mils or whatever it is, and then get the keels on underneath.
Oh my God.
Well, I gotta say, I'm impressed with your resolve in this whole thing. And what are you gonna do with it once it's finished?
Well, I want to sail back to Australia. Just need to learn how to sail.
We like to say that anyone who wants to go cruising is a certain kind of crazy. Our kind of crazy. I think that goes double for anyone willing to build a boat. Much respect, my friend.
The first boat in Japan with hybrid mode.
Yeah, very interesting.
Okay, this is a very unexpected treat. I never thought we'd go sailing in Japan, but we got invited, and we're going with Masa and Kochi.
Santana, Yamaha? Yamaha?
S2.
Oh, okay.
You start sailing.
When I entered university, so
University?
over 50 years ago.
Oh, nice.
There was a bit of a language barrier, but their English was a lot better than our Japanese. It didn't matter. The smiles said it all. There's a simple, universal joy in catching the wind in your sails, and it has nothing to do with how big your boat is. But I did forget just how hard it is to move around in a little monohull.
Hey, what are you doing down there?
Well, I'm just looking to see, is that hatch all the way closed?
All right, how many people do you think are sailing in Japan right now?
I checked. We're the only people.
Like everything in Japan, getting the boat out of the water was ultra efficient. One call on the radio, and we weren't waiting more than about 20 seconds to get lifted out.
Yeah.
We were one of probably 3 boats out sailing around Japan.
Well, you're the only person in Japan building a catamaran.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's pretty awesome.
Kevin is really inspiring and a good reminder not just of the grit and determination we put into our boats, but also the kind of values we have around the entire endeavor. We're hands-on people because we come from hands-on people. And we'll do that with the next boat.
It's our last bullet ride for a while.
This is it.
I got us going in class though. First. Is this gonna work?
I don't know how it happened, but somewhere along the way, this whole YouTubing thing got way too serious. We got into this for the fun of it. Coming back to Oregon for the summer gave us a much-needed recharge and perspective about what's really important, and that's friends and family.
In the ocean, you held my hand, ducking under the big wave. Pushing over the sand.
Oh, that's so cute.
You're giving me more. You gave me so much that I gave, more than you'll ever know. I could
Action.
The whole system's rigged. It's capitalism, just instilling fear in us. So if we fuck up and aren't productive, we're like exiled from the tribe and we're gonna die.
Good for you, Cleon. You cannot resist our power and control over the entire system and your entire life. Do not even try.
Dude, yeah, no Pixablat's gonna do that.
Oh, your rim's bent.
You got it.
I did. 10 minutes straight up.
Exactly. That's right.
10 minutes, dude. That's crazy.
Take a big bite.
Okay, you got this, you got this. Hopefully we make it to June in 15 minutes. Still time for a taco.
You were beside me with your hands behind your back. And when I started to fall, that's when you found me. I remember the day. I remember your way. It was a lifetime ago. It's with me now wherever I go. I remember the day. I remember your way. It was a lifetime ago. It's with me now wherever I go. I remember the time you looked me right in the eye. You said if it doesn't feel right, sometimes you gotta fight for it. I remember the phone. I remember the rain. And I held your hand in my heart. I remember you holding your hand. And I watched you go so hard.
It's chilly to rock around, that's right, on time, it's chilly.
The Oregon coast is beautiful, but it is not warm.
You ready?
The invitation from our friends Holly and Ray on Sabado came just in time.
This is absolutely incredible.
Next time, we are headed to the oh-so-lovely Society Islands. Plenty of adventure, but also the chance to get back to it. And remember what drew us to this lifestyle in the first place. Stay tuned for that, coming up. We know it's been a while, but we'd like to thank you for sticking with us. Also, a super huge mega shout out to our patrons. Without you guys, we wouldn't be making these videos. Thanks a lot.
Let's find some wet leaves.
That's my house. It's called Wet Leaf City. Take me down to Wet Leaf City where I can burn a donut in my own front lawn.
So what song can you guys sing together?
Take me down to a paradise hill where my grass is green and my girls are pretty.
Thanks, Axel.
Take me home, yeah. Take me down to a paradise city where my grass is wet and my donuts are pretty. Take